Good afternoon. I'm Byron Giles, founder of CertificationPoint, and welcome to 5 Minutes with the Founder. Within my last series, I kind of gave you an up-to-date history of CertificationPoint from its conception to where we currently are at this point in time. Now, as I move forward, I'd like to capture some of the questions that have been posed to me in the past and my thought processes and how I answered those questions, but also I'd like to give a very realistic experience into the world of a startup business, not only the startup business, but the daily grind, what startups go through on a daily basis. And I want to give it in its realest moment. Look at me today. I've got my Certification Point t-shirt on, unshaven. My hair is barely brushed, but it's important in the long run to give a real snapshot of the startup. You see the $10 million funding, but you don't see until after that startup has gotten to a high level. Is the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month moments captured on film of processes and interactions that moved and scaled that startup. Going on into not so much a question, but the why. I don't know about a lot of startups, but I've heard a lot of startup stories. I've heard a lot of business, not so much of a startup, a technology startup, but the business aspect. That what is your why? I hear Eric Thomas talk about that a lot. He talks about a lot of athletes when he talks about what is your why. What is my why as Byron Giles, founder of Certification Point? Why Certification Point? I saw a lot of, and not a lot, but at each stage, sometimes you experience those moments where you feel that you may be stagnant in a certain area, or you feel like I can do this better, and without you never want. I don't believe it's a good thing to shake or destroy the ship, or destroy the bubble. I call it bubbles. There's so many. Each company you work in is a bubble. Your family's a bubble. You don't want to destroy that bubble per se. Sometimes it's better to build your own bubble and show that those processes can be done efficiently by you and your team within that other bubble. Sometimes a startup, a founder may have had an enlightening experience, or an experience that wasn't so pleasing, that pushed that assertiveness into a whole new level. I hear Eric Thomas talk about his time at one of the universities and not feeling like his contributions were being seen in the same light as others' contributions. And I think that can hold true across the board. Depending on your age, sometimes it's just the timing. Sometimes timing isn't at it where it needs to be, and there's always going to be those variables. And sometimes you can overcome those variables by creating your own startup.